yours is looking to be jury then.
Is someone able to give testimony and also be jury? I just want to make sure I understand.
That is a conflict of interest domain.
It is a conflict of interest.
Yes. Well, we have several volunteers.
Is that how juries work? Volunteering?
No, it is not.
Let's see.
Technically, it is selected, but
I would be wary of everyone who is volunteering. You do not know whose side they're on. And if you're specifically looking for those Maugrims, I would, select them by hand.
Well, that would be trying to prejudice the jury, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, the jury
Problem
should be
is-
selected before this whole thing happens,
Yeah.
huh?
Problem is, you don't know who's prejudiced and who's not in this situation at the moment.
Yes, so that's why typically I think you do it with both the defense and the prosecution, because they would agree on who can be there.
Well, I don't know where
As
the
one who has
prosecution
yet to
is.
meet Maugrim, it would be wise to select those who have the least stake in this as possible. Foreigners would be wise.
Perhaps those who have not met Maugrim, then.
for those who are interested in being a juror and not a witness, step towards the middle and line up.
Yes.
I don't know what court things are. I'm gonna sit this one out.
That's so many.
That's so many indeed.
Why are we lined up?
You can go.
The queue.
This is for those who are interested in juror duty. If you are not, sit down. If you are a witness, sit down.
Name. Give your name and then sit down.
I am the Lucane.
Next.
Darian.
Actually,
Darian.
Order
this is
in the
funnier.
court.
Oh, yes, front left there.
Next.
I'm Buddy.
Next.
Boris.
Next.
Artemisia Dread.
Next.
I am the Gabriel, the best Gabriel, the most trustworthy Gabriel.
Next.
I am Mara.
Next. Next.
I am Dretzis Valiner.
Next. Next.
Grostadius.
Next.
Pilinso.
Next.
Grigorich of House Blackbriar.
Next.
Lord Blackwall Sabeth, Guildmaster of the Talos Merchants Guild.
You may be seated.
You moron.
I believe you
Oh,
made a
Incompetent
mistake.
fool.
You
Throw
know
him
what?
out.
Break my things. This is fine.
I love you, Boris.
Well,
So
where is
good.
Gabriel supposed to sit now?
I was afraid that I was going to do that. I'm glad it happened to someone else.
Perhaps
He
you
should be
should.
executed immediately.
No.
Perhaps you should take your necklaces off. Yes.
Yeah.
There probably won't be an execution, but mine, Electra.
No, don't be executed, Maugrim.
The
Promise.
chairs?
In a quarter tick.
To mean you be good at your job.
Yes, no pressure or anything. Actually, all the pressure. Please do a good job. This is really bad if you don't.
I will be doing my best for you.
Your best isn't very confidence-inducing. You better just do a good job.
I'll do a good job.
Imagination.
Could have picked an actual lawyer. That might have helped your situation.
Court trial need the side with Carnage on that one.
I'm sorry, who farted?
I don't think Kindred are capable of that bodily function.
Ah, no shit.
I can.
The humans certainly do.
Well, maybe not with that attitude.
Please be seated.
I believe that of those who volunteered for the jury, we should only select those who haven't actually interacted with Maugrim. That would be the best way to make sure it's fair.
Also still missing the prosecution. I'm not complaining to their lack of a presence. It's kind of nice they're not here.
Yeah, if they don't show up, does that mean mistrial or whatever?
Does that mean I'm absolved of charges? I certainly hope so.
I believe in you.
Yeah, so Maugrim.
Who exactly? Ah. I see.
Maugrim Orion.
Lord Dunbar.
Sentry?
First of the volunteers to rise, Palensu. Come to the center. Next, Lucane. Come to the center. Next, Boris. Come to the center. Next, Gabriel.
Yippee.
Next is Buddy. Come to the center. Lastly, Blackwall. Come to the center. Prosecution. Do you have any
Excuse me.
issue?
I thought the jury should be completely impartial, and Sir Blackwell has.
Silence in the court. We'll get to
Objection.
that.
Blackwall is a jerk.
Silence in the court, or I will break your legs and your
fine.
mouth.
You win. I'm sorry.
Prosecution, do you have any issue with the selected jury?
I do not.
Defense, do you have any issue with the selected jury?
Yes.
State
believe-
who you have issues with.
Blackwall is both a warden prospect, but also was subject to trial by Maugrim recently. I believe he has a clear conflict. Buddy also has recently posted in support of Maugrim upon the Waygates. I believe this shows a conflict of interest.
These have been founded. Lord Blackwall and Buddy, you are to be seated. The new juror will be selected. Vel, you have been selected. Gregorich, you have been selected. Once more, prosecution, do you have any issue with the jury selected? Prosecutor Donovan, do you have any issue with the jury selected?
No, I do not.
Defense, do you have any issue with the jury selected?
I'm not aware of any further bias. So no.
Very well. Jury members, you may now enter the court and take a seat behind the jury.
I recommend we all rise and then sit once more for those who have arrived late.
All shall rise.
Oh, so there was some standing. My apologies to the Alfred.
No. Bagman, sit next to Gabriel.
Yes.
Damn it. There's 3 people Gabriel wants to be next to.
All may seat.
Val, if you want.
Your legs are in the way, Val.
My leg.
Bailiff Sentry, the jury has been selected.
Understood. Are we all prepared to proceed?
Yes.
All right. You're all here for a trial for Warden Maugrim. Let me set precedence here. If you were to cause discord in the court, or mosquito or otherwise, I will kill you. If you are not worried about threats to your own life, then I will kill everyone here. And Ruthven will assist. All rise for Judge Echo, envoy of Sarah.
You all may be seated. It is with great displeasure that I am here before you all today to preside over this disappointing venture. We will begin by having each side introduce itself. I will allow representation to do so if they are inclined. We begin with the prosecution.
My thanks, Your Honor. I am Donovan Shadestar of Shadestar Supplies, and I am here on representing that the accused be brought to justice for their dereliction of their duties.
And now the defense.
I am Magus William Kashif, the Third Dominion, and representative for Maugrim, providing defense that, well, they are not guilty of what they have been accused of by the prosecution and the others of, well, that have brought forward this attack.
I am the Warden Maugrim, Warden of Farbane, standing here to take a defense against my accusations and crimes.
Each party will have, without any argument, the ability to freely move around the courtroom during direct and cross-examination. You have permission to take misstones of these proceedings if you would like to, as well as record whatever written document you may see fit for the future. If these conditions seem amicable, then please say aye.
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 Excellent. We will begin with opening statements. Before that, a small presentation of the charges at hand. The accused is standing trial for the following crimes: the dereliction of duty, the failure to maintain order, and treason. Opening statements concerning the following begin with the prosecution.
Thank you, Your Honor. Maugrim, you have been judged and found wanting. Yours was a simple task, but a crucial one nonetheless. We had assurances that you were capable of this. An enforcer and a keeper of order, that was to be your duty. But you were charged with making sure that the kindred were kept in line. Can you say truthfully that you kept this to the best of your ability? Throats torn, conflicts between the Nightkin? These are not the signs of a capable keeper of order. In fact, you yourself have found yourself drawn into a warbat with House Aternus, have you not? My nearest neighbors in Silverlight, and have been a most amicable of kin. Not only did you allow yourself to get drawn into the conflict, but you lost that fight as well. Perhaps your post of warden is better found to be among more worthy candidates. Of course, not only have you failed to keep your charges safe, but you cannot even keep those who work directly under you. Lieutenants that trusted you, that were assigned to you to be your eyes and ears and help manage your reach, all killed in action in service to your misguided attempts at control. Who then can say that they trust you? Hmm?
Very well. As Donovan takes his seat, the defense may present their opening statement.
It is my firm belief that the Warden Maugrim has done as well as any kindred or any being could in the face of, well, the realities of kindred kind. We are creatures that are prone to conflict, and it is through Maugrim's efforts that conflict has not arisen more often. And when conflict has arisen, regardless of if Maugrim was involved or not, they have found resolutions that have ensured that the conflict did not spread further to those within their organization and ended with them. Maugrim has done to the best of their abilities and to the best of really any being's abilities keeping order within these lands. Barbane is a bastion of chaos for a reason, and I have never seen it more orderly than it is right now.
If that concludes your opening statement, you may take a seat. We will begin with the prosecution calling forth their witness and seeking their admission to the exhibits towards the evidence, which will follow with a cross-examination by the defense. And then the prosecution will rest their case. You may begin and call your first witness when you are ready, Donovan.
Of course, thank you. I just have one question for the defense.
Oh.
You mentioned that despite the rising chaos and conflicts rising, that Maugrim has been keeping things less than they have been. Can you provide examples of such examples of their duty?
I believe that is something for evidence to be
As you
brought
say.
forward.
In that case, I will move and call the Venator to my first witness.
Venator, you may approach the stand.
A witness to Maugrim's incompetence I am made to be.
And before that, Venator, I must have you take an oath. Do you swear upon the cosmic thread and all that is morbid and foul that you will speak truths and only truths?
I swear.
You may begin your examination and present your case.
Very well. You argue for evidence, for proof of treason or incompetence of the one before you in this trial. You argue that this is the most docile and orderly the kindred have been as of yet. And yet, you fail to acknowledge the fact that we are here simply because Maugrim is and has always been a fraud. This is not news to many of you who have seen the destruction they cause, their temperament at a mere lashing, the bloodlust that resides within them. They walk two paths, that of the politician, the diplomat, and that of the beast. A jack of all trades is seldomly more than a master of none. Maugrim is here to maintain balance and order, and yet I'm sure you all have seen much strife, much conflict, even here in these woods. There is a difference between one who is a silent observer, who enacts rules and restrictions upon a populace to maintain order, and that which is a mere failure of a tyrant. The latter describes Maugrim possess the strength required to control themselves, let alone an entire kindred body. They enact rules, regulations to maintain some balance in an otherworldly presence that not even a majority of you can truly grasp. It is a tenuous claim that they maintain balance on the ephemeral, but in reality, it is nothing more than an excuse, their inability to observe and enforce. How many have you seen riding a horse through these woods, doing anything that would be against their laws as warden? What then does this warden do when we have sensed a shift ourselves? Something that no kindred can deny is in the air, an objective conflict, an ever-continuous struggle amongst those who would be seated casually and bend before what? Someone who cannot commit to the beast within them, for to deny that beast is to deny the very fabric of kindred existence. Some may be in this very room right now simply because they know it will feed their beast. Others for knowledge I do not judge, but do mistake anything Maugrim ever does for anything other than opinion of perspective. They are here in this room because that facade has fallen. You need no further proof than what is around you every last cycle. For that, if one is to request something of you without providing a solid proof, then remove them. They are unnecessary.
There is an objection from the jury.
Yes, thank you, my lord. Can the witnesses please be guided by questions and not permitted to pontificate at length? The jury is trying to keep all these matters in their mind and judge with simplicity's sake. Unguided pontification is unhelpful. Thank you.
It will be. If this is how the prosecution wishes to allow their witness to present themselves, then it is allowed.
I think it is only fair that the jury be given a fair shake of the understanding of events, but the Venator has a deep grasp of the situation that I wish to have been elucidated.
By all means, if there are questions that the Lucane possesses, I would be amicable.
Objection. I believe allowing this pontification is unfairly prejudicial. It should be guided by questions and reserved to that which has been, well, acquired fairly rather than just pure opinion, as I believe some of what has been said by Venator is clearly guided by opinion rather than objective fact.
Agreed. We will remain with questions and cross-examinations coming only from the prosecution and the defense, but the objection from the jury stands as a gesture of goodwill to those participating in the judgment.
For those just joining, this is important. If you damage this courtroom in any way, I will kill you or everyone here, with Ruthven's assistance.
The Venator. There has been much said in the matter, but I think it is important that we get to the crux of the matter. What examples could you provide of specifically failing in their duties to protect the kindred?
The lack of control they have of themselves, as one can witness when the sun rises and falls, leads them to be rash. Just a single lashing at their flesh can cause them to bend to a fury, ripping the throats of those they are apparently duty-bound to protect. Is that not evidence enough alone in that one instance that they should not serve their station?
Yes, I do believe that many gathered here today in court would recall such a gruesome brawl here, not too far from here in the Silverlight Hills. The kindred had gathered to feast and taste of the elementalist when Maugrim had, well, savaged them, no?
Apparently, if it is outside of their woods, they will do as they please. One who values their position treads carefully in foreign, I believe as you all would call, jurisdictions.
Are there any other questions from the prosecution for the standing witness?
Not at present, no. I am content.
Would the defense like to cross-examine the witness?
I would. Venator, during your pontification, you mentioned a disdain for the fact that Maugrim flits between politician and beast. Do you have a disdain for politicians in general?
I think that is a leading question. I have a disdain for all who are not strong.
The question stands.
If it is acknowledged that it is not exclusive to the diplomat, but to all who are not of great strength, then yes.
So, could it be seen that perhaps your belief that Maugrim does not show strength in how they do business could perhaps be, well, from a misunderstanding of physical strength versus the strength of one able to hold discussions and, well, act diplomatically in certain instances?
I acknowledge the intellectual strength of some. The point I am making is that it is of no bearing when one does not have control of their own faculties. I have disdain over the one presiding over the prosecution, and the others, many others in this room, if that helps you.
So, were you present during the events that were described regarding the attack upon, well, Maugrim's flesh?
Not all, no. I typically witness from afar, out of sight.
Then how can we confirm that you did actually witness those events?
You cannot.
Then
But
I
it
believe
is-
such evidence may not be admitted.
It does not make the case any less true, but if you choose to allow an incompetent monster to run amok in your woods, then so be it. I do not care.
Anecdotal evidence and hearsay will be considered by the jury.
Oh, so we're allowing hearsay. Good to know.
Is not the point of a witness to trust that they are indeed a witness?
That's what cross-examination is for.
And I have witnessed it, so trust that or don't. It doesn't make the events that transpired any less objectively true.
Does the defense have any last questions for the witness as your time with this witness is about to expire?
Do you have a personal disdain for Maugrim that you believe might prejudice you in this matter?
My disdain for Maugrim is absolute, yet it is not unlike any other that I hold. It is because they are inept. Nothing more, nothing less.
Very well.
I believe that's my final question for this time.
Venator, your time in the stand is done. You may return. to your seat. Does the prosecution have another witness to call to the stand?
Yes. I would like to call Peanut to the stand.
Peanut, you have been
Peanut?
called.
Peanut.
Approach the court.
Thank you. If you would kindly take the seat.
Peanut, before we begin, do you swear upon the cosmic thread and all that is morbid and foul that you will speak truths and only truths? Peanut. The prosecution may begin their examination and their admission of exhibits.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now then, Peanut, if you would be so kind as to explain to the court here how you came to know the defendant.
Peanut.
I see. Now, was this before or after the events described by the Venator?
Peanut.
Of course. Now, in your own words, would you say that Maugrim is a fair warden?
Peanut.
And would you say that they are capable in their duties that you witnessed so far?
Peanut.
And what would you say about the conflict of between Maugrim's personal affairs and that of House Aternus? Are they not supposed to be fair and unbiased wardens?
Peanut.
Of course, allow me to rephrase. Would you say it is then fair then that Maugrim is unbiased in their general arrangements with the kindred?
Peanut.
I see. Now then, I think it is only fair then that it is, how can you say? I do not wish to take up too much of your time, but the heart of the matter is Maugrim has been accused of some very serious crimes. And if they were to be given the, well, benefit of the doubt, would you say that it is fair that they be given this?
Peanut.
Very true. One last question then. Is it true that your sigil has been close with the wardens?
Peanut.
I thank you for your... all
The
yours.
defense.
Hello.
Peanut.
So, just to clarify, you are believing that Maugrim should be given the benefit of the doubt, I suppose. You can say Peanut once for yes, twice for no.
Peanut.
I suppose my case stands.
Peanut, your time at the stand has ended. There is another objection from the jury.
As someone who is in need of a translator, as I do not speak
Peanut.
bad. Thank you, Peanut. I am told that the prosecution has misrepresented a large portion of Peanut's testimony and would like either a translation or for his testimony to be stricken from the record.
Prosecution's argument to the contrary.
I think that is very unfair to someone as eloquent as Peanut. I think that they were quite clear in the matter.
Yes, Gabriel understood perfectly. Can attest.
However, half the
Forrest
jury
think
did not.
Nell should translate what Peanut say. For benefit of everyone in room. Nell understand Peanut best.
If your fellow jurors can understand it, then you can discuss amongst yourselves when it's time to call for a verdict.
The problem is half of the jury doesn't understand Peanut.
The objector had another comment.
It would be very agreeable to have the Lady Nell translate for Peanut's sake.
I believe at the recess of the jury, you will have the opportunity to have such information presented to you.
Very good. Thank you.
Does the prosecution have anybody else they would like to call to the stand?
Not at present, Your Honor. I feel that the case is quite secure at the time.
Do you have any closing statements to rest your case?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Very well. The defense may now present their witnesses.
I would like to call my colleague Carnage to the stands.
Carnage has been called.
Hello.
Carnage.
Yes.
First horseman of the apocalypse.
Tis I.
Do you swear upon the cosmic thread and all that is morbid and foul that you will speak truths and only truths?
Yes.
You may proceed.
Carnage.
Yes, Dominion.
Could you describe what you have... Well, could you describe how yourself and others have reacted to the laws of the border?
I suppose at first it was with distaste, per what usually us kindred do. However, after getting to know Maugrim and speaking with them and seeing what kind of kindred they were, it was easy enough to abide by said rules. It was little it was not so out of my way to abide by those whenever visiting Varbane.
And have others who traveled with you also abided by said rules?
Yes. If not, I would tend to suggest they do so.
Would you say that it is crucial to your understanding of the rules, the conversations you had with Maugrim?
Yes, I would say that understanding rules make them easier to follow. So yes, the conversations that I've had with Maugrim have made it much to my benefit to follow those rules, to understand them, to want to follow them.
Have you ever personally had any conflicts with Maugrim?
Conflicts, no. Slight hesitancy, yes. Back in the time when the game they played of being marked and hunted, hide and seek, I guess you can say, or tag, perhaps. I don't know what the best word is for it, but their game, one of mine that I consider close family and pack, was marked, and unknowing of what exactly the game entailed, I was curious and worried as to when Maugrim, the Elder, and who else was it? Sentry Unit, I believe, showed up at my door looking for them. But that led to a wonderful conversation and helped my understanding of the siblings, or wardens as you call them, a bit better, and only solidified my desire to continue to look to Maugrim and, how do I put it, follow their rules whenever I was in their territory. Respect them.
And do you believe that there are other kindred who you have interacted with that share similar sentiments?
Yes.
Are there any other matters that you believe the jury should know about in regards to this?
In regards to specifically the rules?
In regards to the charges that have been brought against Maugrim, the dereliction of duty and such as that.
I suppose the only thing that comes to mind is mention to Veneta's statement earlier on the difference between politician and beast and the changing of such. I think it's important for me specifically, as someone who used to struggle with blood moons, that just because you have those moments does not mean that you're not still worthy of protecting those that you love. At least in my eyes. I'm still... I was just going to say I'm still able to lead a whole faith. Was still able to do so back when I still had my blood moon issues. So I think it's reasonable to see that even other kindred see those that may have moments of change or issue can still hold positions that are, well, ones of protectors or leaders.
All right. And would you say that there have been instances where you have seen Maugrim able to wrangle Electra of all people?
Yes, I believe something of the sort I've seen happen. I could not recall the details though, so I would not say that that is a very positive and truthful statement, simply because I do not recall it well, but I believe there was a moment when something of the sort happened in my presence, yes.
Fair enough. Well,
We'll have to resolve the questions from the defense in regards to this witness. Donovan, do you have a cross-examination you would like to present for the...
I have a couple, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Thank you. Now, Carnage. Tell me, what is it that the Horsemen of the Apocalypse represent,
We are the heralds of the end. We
I see.
come to Vardoran to speak on the apocalypse that is approaching after the first seal breaks.
I see. And how does this put you at odds? Or does this not put you at odds with someone such as Maugrim, who is charged with keeping order?
In what regards? In the fact that they are trying to stop something of the apocalypse happening? Is that what you mean?
They are meant to be keeping the kindred in line and not at each other's throats. Would not the apocalypse be something of that nature?
Well, I suppose it would. It is kindred's actions that bring the apocalypse after all, and if you keep them from doing certain actions, that stop the apocalypse.
I see. And you mentioned that Maugrim had told you about this closing of the order, that they had been keeping track.
Objection relevance?
I don't even believe I understand the question, so...
Represent the question, Donovan.
Maugrim is charismatic, no doubt, but does that reflect well on their ability to maintain?
Yes, it does. If you do not have charisma to reach out to those people that maybe not, how do I put it, are not guided well by a strong hand, you can reach them by words. It also keeps the kindred from being volatile. If they have communications from those in a more friendly manner or manner that is less threatening.
I see. And now, this might just be my own thoughts on the matter, but would it not be advantageous to the horsemen of the apocalypse to have someone incapable of maintaining order in such a position?
I, as Carnage, am kind of, titled to create disorder, but it just depends, I suppose, what your goal is.
Sounds to me as if your goal is to see the end come about.
You'd be wrong.
Are you not heralding it in?
No, we are heralding its coming, not necessarily bringing it. We are here to say it is coming and nothing more. We are not to partake in the action of bringing it. We are observers.
Objection relevance. Donovan, ask your closing question and we'll move to the next witness.
Of course. In your opinion, then, Carnage, Maugrim has been accused of many things. Dereliction duty, first and foremost. How would you say, then, if you are that Maugrim is of sound mind and body to be in position, how would you be capable, then, of maintaining that position?
I apologize. It seems your voice has been taken roughly by spirits.
Such is the matter when many can together. My final question then to you is then, Maugrim has been charged of dereliction of duty. What examples can you give the court then of Maugrim holding to this?
Yes, I believe the realm is not happy with our voices at the moment. I suppose, if my voice allows it. I'm assuming since nobody's yelling at me saying they can't hear me very well, that it will. That I also... Sorry, I wanted to... Remembered I did have another time a very specific example. For instance, when Maugrim invited us to, well, this location before the storm, that I have never seen the kindred arrive at a party and actually behave themselves as they did as such. I remember me and a few others actually applauding Maugrim for keeping kindred in line to the point that they could actually have a party that wasn't disruptive. Whenever they did have an issue, that people would put behind bar duty and then would proceed to behave themselves afterwards.
Yeah, very good, very good. But I'm glad you were able to arrive here as a wolf, safe and sound. But perhaps that speaks more to the abilities and prominence of the horseman than to Maugrim's own ability. Now, the bartender is a fine example, but that is a good punishment for those stepping out of line. But the question was, what did Maugrim do specifically as a means of keeping order?
Well, I think the connection with kindred and actually taking time to speak with them, as I've stated before, I had distaste for the rules when I first saw them, but once meeting Maugrim and speaking to them as to why they were such in play, I was more inclined to follow them. It made sense to me, the connection, and not necessarily listen to the rules or else without explanation led me to want to follow them and others around me that I sadly are not here to, so I will not speak on them, but yes, at least for myself.
Ah, then they are an amicable and well-loved member of the community then, yes?
I wouldn't say that. I do not know everybody else's feelings on Maugrim personally, but for me, they are respected.
At any rate, our time here runs short, and I thank you for your enlightenments. No more further questions.
Carnage, you may now step away from the stand. Your time has ended. Does the defense have another witness they would like to call to the stand?
I would like to call Gotham of House Eternus to the stand.
Oh? Approach the desk.
Well, alright then. Don't mind if I do.
Gotham.
Yes.
Do you swear upon the cosmic thread and all that is morbid and foul that you will speak truths and only truths?
I shall speak only the truth, and nothing but the truth.
Very well. The defense may proceed.
Gotham,
Yes?
could you describe the conflict between your house and Maugrim?
Very well. The conflict between House Internus and Maugrim was one of mutual disdain. However, we found a more amicable solution ourselves to the problem. Would you like me to elaborate?
If you could.
Very well. Our first interaction with Maugrim proper was his hunt. One of Noxus's daughters, Felina, was the subject to the hunt. She had been tending her garden outside her estate when Maugrim arrived. Felina froze, and Maugrim proceeded to tear her throat. After which, the House Eternus sought retribution for the... and we proposed a game. One that was fructitious in its result. Noxus got his satisfying result, but it did result in the Night of 1,000 Hells, which was quite exciting. Too bad I missed it.
Would you say that in resolving the attack that was between Maugrim and House Eternus, Maugrim acted fairly and openly and communicated with House Eternus throughout the proceedings?
We were well aware of what the mark meant, and we were informed on the consequences of not running. Felina choosing to freeze. Yes, one that we were not all too happy with, but we knew, nonetheless. Between Noxus and Maugrim, an agreement was reached. There were some blows struck, of course, but it was amicable for both parties. I would say that Maugrim's ability to negotiate and engage in diplomacy does them credit.
Thank you.
Donovan, does the prosecution wish to cross-examine the witness?
Only a little, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Gotham. Maugrim has been rather thoroughly discussed here, but I would like to hear your thoughts on the individual.
My personal thoughts or professional thoughts?
I'm looking for you, the individual. Thank you.
Very well. In terms of government body and what Maugrim was running, I cannot say that it's an effective way of leadership, but it is still a leadership. The principles by which Fairbane have been operating is, by all means, acceptable. My personal opinion of Maugrim is somewhat of a curiosity. I know very little about them, and I would like to discover more. I know that they perceive the balance as something very important, which in some regards I do agree with. The simplicity of life. Everyone seems to overcomplicate things, and it's nice to go back to the root.
Of course. And getting to the unfortunate mauling of Felina, was the, well, recompense that House Eternus sought from Maugrim?
Very well. There were two stages to it. One was the proposition of the hunter now becomes the hunted, and that we would run through Mortium chasing down Maugrim. Not the specific details of it, since I was not present, but as I understand, that game won in the favor of... Now, in regards to the personal one, which was the second...
A moment. You cut off there a moment. In regards to...
Go on.
The hunt you were saying, had ended in favor of...
The House Eternus.
Thank you. Carry on.
Now, there was the other one, which happened a little earlier, which is that Noxus struck Maugrim in the face with a mace. That was personal.
Dear me. Did Noxus have some dispute with Maugrim?
Well, would a father not be very angry at the individual who mauled their daughter?
Of course, of course. Hardly the tone one would want to have in a so-called protector.
Well, let me just say that Maugrim handled it pretty well, all things considered. He even gave us 30 seconds to get inside.
Yes. However, nonetheless, Maugrim attacked first.
Following the conditions he set.
Thank you. No further questions.
Very well. Gotham, your time as a witness has passed. You may return to your seat.
Why, thank you.
The defense has the opportunity to call one more witness to the stand.
All right. In that case, I call Merle.
Gabriel, sit down.
No. Do you swear upon the cosmic thread and all that is morbid and foul that you will speak truths and only truths?
I do.
Very well. The defense may proceed.
Merle. Could you explain to me your first interactions with Maugrim?
I do believe my very first interaction with them was their offer to take shelter in their home from the sun. There was a group outside of their estate dealing with some wandering issues, I suppose. I wasn't seeking to get into anything, so once the sun rose, I took their offer.
And how have you found Maugrim to act in dealings with yourself?
They've always been quite kind, quite willing to answer questions that I may have, open to friendly conversation. I've quite enjoyed my time with Maugrim.
Has this made you more amicable to the rules and laws that they have set up?
Truthfully, I had never once held issue with them. when I first came to Vardoran, I, well, was quite freshly turned. These rules were new to me, yes, but much was. I embraced them in stride. I will say I appreciated Maugrim's explanation of them and their reasonings.
Do you believe that Maugrim has provided sufficient guidance onto why these laws are important and aided in ensuring that order has well kept within these lands?
I do. I remember back quite fondly on a walk through Fairbane that Maugrim hosted. We listened while they spoke, were free to ask questions, and they were, well, quite happy to explain themselves. The need for balance in not just the world, but also ourselves and themselves.
And do you believe this balance, this even hand, would you say that that has made them, well, a good as ruler of this area as one could ask for?
I do.
Well,
I think.
Go on.
Sorry, I'm hearing things outside. I think many kindred share in some form of duality within themselves. We all, much like Maugrim, carry a beast. I don't think that that is something to be ashamed of or to hide, but rather embraced.
Thank you.
Does the prosecution wish to cross-examine the witness?
Not at this time, Your Honor. I do believe that they have said more than enough.
No. Your time as a witness has passed. You may return to your seat. Now, I will speak once. Before we go to the recess, I will present the choices that the jury will have when choosing the sentence of guilty or not guilty. If Maugrim is found guilty of the crimes, they will be put to death. if Maugrim is found without guilt, they will be banished to another realm, imprisoned even. Now, the recess will begin. The jury may abscond into the audience, and the audience may abscond into the courtyard. The jury may return here within 15 ticks. I will have a spectral clock above this desk that will display the time remaining. Come glance at it if you need to see what is going on. You can find it where documents are kept.
So it's a death or imprisonment.
Yes.
Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Makes perfect sense.
No,
Not
it
our
doesn't.
place
Not
to
at all.
question. We are the
The
jury.
sentencing is the judge's to make. Thank you.
Yo,
I don't
there's
care.
no point in sentencing if
Unfortunate
they
as
get
it may
punished
be.
either way.
Indeed.
I
Lesser
believe
of two
a
evils.
I believe a translator was called. Nell, are you still
No,
present?
Gabriel translates just fine.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I'm over here.
Peanut.
Why?
For those who do not wish to engage in this recess, Nell, you may present the translation.
Sorry. So Peanut said, that he doesn't know, he doesn't care. He's only talked to Mean Dog number 2 twice, so he's not sure why his opinion is relevant here because he's only talked to Mean Dog number 2 twice. But he thinks that everyone has a right to a fair trial.
I knew it!
I see.
Well, that makes it
See,
very...
we did not need a translation.
Peanut thinks that this smells crooked.
My lord.
Thank you, Nell.
May the jury have their
You're
recess
welcome.
in private.
Well, that's what it means to be recessed.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Ahem.
I think she wants us to go outside.
Peanut.
No, she's scary. I'm leaving.
Peanut.
That's fair.
Peanut.
The jurors.
I mean, go straight to your legs.
Peanut.
I'll be honest.
Well, Vinny, how do you feel?
This is
Thank
stinky.
you, automaton.
Oh, does the one who held my gravedigger hostage to draw me into the open think the trial is unfair?
You know, a lot of those witnesses were.
I think I've
Thank
got
you.
a tiny violin around
Suppose I'll have to take my recess somewhere else.
Yes.
A fine case, Donovan. Thank you.
Of course.
Do the jurors want me here, or simply to knock on door when they are completed?
You're stuck on the door there, robot friend.
Come here, Vinny. I'll
Verily.
Right.
Right, so,
We have 16 ticks to
That was
decide.
last time.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest. Guilty.
Okay, here's the thing. I was originally inclined to say not guilty, however, Maugrim's reaction to saying imprisonment, it makes me think they would rather die.
Yes.
No.
Guilty.
Yes. In that regard, yes, but here. Instead of imprisonment, here, yeah. So Gabriel's gonna be like, he's gonna speak, and he's gonna say like, we think the judge should make the punishment to being not guilty, instead of putting them in a cage, something, they should become Gabriel's dog.
I don't think.
Gabriel. Shh.
Okay.
Gabriel will have them do menial labor, and that's going to be like torture for someone that was king, yes, or lord or whatever. So
I don't think
yeah,
they would
Gabriel-
accept Gabriel.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
Lady Lucane.
Knowing
you are
Echo.
minor, you should not be.
Lady Lucane, what is your opinion?
No. Gabriel's the one speaking now.
Gabriel, others
Yeah, so,
speak. Yes.
Gabriel,
I
we
wish
have
to hear
16
other
ticks.
verdicts.
That's plenty of time.
It is true, it is plenty of time, but I do
That's
want
like a
to
whole
hear...
2 ticks to Gabriel himself.
Gabriel, step aside.
I wish to hear the initial thoughts among everyone else, because currently we have one not, one guilty. So, the others, say your piece, starting with this fellow on my left. Just a simple yes or no.
I asked my question to Lady Lucane first.
And I'm asking
Very
you,
much stop us
just
all.
quick yes or no, and then we'll move on from there. Let's just have a bit of order here, yes?
Yeah, by disrespecting my question towards Lady
Correct.
Lucane, that's not
Yes,
going
yes,
to
hurry up.
happen.
You're wasting time.
I'm only going to hear Lady Lucane first, and then I will make...
No, just listen to what Gabriel said. Say yes or no so we can move on.
And fie on it. If you wish to hear me, you will speak first.
Of course.
Thank you.
I think that they are not guilty.
Thank you. Boris.
Boris also think not guilty.
Thank you. Val, you have said your opinion. Gabriel, yes or no?
Let's go no.
Oh, are you a Sidra? Yeah, I got a lot of
Okay.
Sidra.
And then Lady Lucane.
Guilty.
Jail.
Now, we have visited our understanding on whether they are guilty or not guilty. The 4 say not guilty, 2 say guilty.
Correct.
So, let us determine now what verdict we wish to present.
Peanut.
The majority rule, obviously. Not guilty.
Oh, you pissed us in.
But is that what we want
Bell
Maugrim to
has-
receive?
Who did it?
Precisely. Bell has put forward the very important point. This is why for a judge does not present the options of sentencing before
Not
jury has
touch.
reconvened.
Yes.
Gabriel, I admire you.
We are effectively picking what punishment they get. Knowing Echo, he gave us those options because there are no other acceptable options.
Oh.
Correct.
Well, they clearly want Dog gone.
Yes, they want
Dog
Maugrim
knows
gone,
Gabriel
and
thinks
and they are leaving it up to the Kindred of Vardoran to decide what to do. Now, I don't know
Why
where they're
don't
gonna
we
go.
do secret third option and help
I have
Maugrim
a
escape?
small green face.
What do you mean? Say not guilty to get them imprisoned and then prison break?
I do not think that would be successful.
A moment, please.
I'd offer
I
to
must
fix
confer.
my dress at least.
Sentry!
No, I didn't grab your suit for him.
Approaching.
As a student.
May we have your ear for a moment?
And is it alright if I raise my...
What is the court protocol in the case of a deadlock in the jury?
They threaten death on anyone who tries to interfere with the trial.
I met him just before Burgess came out.
Oh, it's a kangaroo court.
Judge has full authority to make the decision.
Thank you. That is all.
Should we call the judge in here then?
No.
I don't understand.
Fair enough. What? I was going
so
to ask for clarification on what imprisonment meant. Where would they go?
Imprisonment means they put them where they want them out of anywhere, so like the result is the same.
I don't know. I don't know where the laws came from. I don't know who made the laws.
Yeah. Does anyone else know of the...
Laws seems to be the Sentry unit in Ruthven.
Go on.
So if that's going to be
Does
the
anyone
case, why
else
don't we
know
just have
of
a
the
court within
second
their own
Elder
family instead
Vision?
of bringing everyone else into it?
Vision?
What the fuck is an Elder Vision?
You've only seen.
Some kindred have gotten the second.
Well, if no one cares about the law of the land, then everyone can just
The
have a little
Elder
uprising.
made a deal with all of them, pulling them from other realities. I'm assuming that means they will either go be with the Elder when they are imprisoned or go back.
From Balan.
Vel, one moment.
They have no ancestral
Just saying hi.
Gabriel is going to yell very, very loudly. The people outside may want to speak quietly or speak further away from the building. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Truly a doer.
I appreciate
Gabriel
that
will do
immensely.
anything.
So, as I was saying, I'm not sure if any of you actually heard me when I was trying to say. Has any...
Yes, we
No,
followed
yes. Okay. Second Elder Vision. Elder made deal after the stuff from the first, hopping between places, making deals with everyone. Maugrim wanted a place to rule of their own and became the Warden of Farbane. So all of the council kin are tied to the Elder through contracts. We are not necessarily deciding if that contract has been broken, but we're deciding what happens to them after the fact. So, what's going to happen?
Yes, so we have asserted whether we believe them guilty or not guilty. That is no longer.
The question is not guilty or
Vel-
not guilty, it is what we do.
Yes, Vel brings forward the question of what sentence to pass. So let's hear it.
Yes.
Round the circle we go. Let's begin with you, Little Lucane.
And what was question?
Death or imprisonment?
Or is like going with the secret third option of helping them escape?
They're not getting far.
It won't happen. It's not realistic. Let's just operate under the assumption the third option does not exist.
Venator alone run Maugrim down, really.
Venator being here means none of us have a chance of success. I do not think you have seen the Venator's prowess, but it is enough to stop everyone here without any issues at all.
Well, then Boris vote for imprisonment at least. Then we have chance to maybe find them later.
Okay, Boris. Val?
I need time to think and I go back to me.
Okay, Gabriel say put in prison because later you can make prison break if needed, and the more things that people don't like, Gabriel is happier. Next.
Death.
Death as well. If they are going to be imprisoned and sent back to this elder, as you have mentioned, perhaps they could be changed in some way, and then that Maugrim that you have seen is no longer, well, the one that you have previously interacted with. So I say death.
So you see, if they die, they have another chance in a way?
No,
they're
if they
just eradicated.
die, they don't have to go through the imprisonment.
Okay,
Did no
I
one
say
else see
imprisonment.
Maugrim's reaction to the thought of being imprisoned? I don't think they want that.
Alonso. You say imprisonment?
Beard is much better.
Yes.
Okay,
Boris,
so
you
we...
say imprisonment. Gabriel, you say imprisonment.
Well-
Vel. Vel.
Knowing what you know, would death not be the preferable option?
Maugrim is meant to be free, or not at all.
Okay, my best judgment. On the caution of what I know, I think for Maugrim, death may unfortunately be better than imprisonment.
Deadlock.
No.
You're wrong.
Gabriel thinking. Temptress work for Dracula. Paladin work for Luminance. But we and then they work for us, so yeah, dog needs to die.
So we're at 4 to 2, death to imprisonment.
Yeah.
Correct. Now,
Boris.
considering the stances that we are all on, perhaps we should look at this from a greater good perspective, yes? Would this not benefit the majority of Kindred as a whole if we are to ensure their death?
Maugrim is going away regardless.
Yes, I agree.
They're one that has caused least problem. If anyone should be put to death, is Ruthven. Ruthven
Yes,
is
yes.
a crime
Boris,
at this
Gabriel explained to you. Yes. See, if dog go away either way, right? And most kindred like dog, then dog not coming back. Yes. We can all agree. Dog not coming back.
I don't think we can.
I believe.
In any case,
Margaret is
dog, our
putting
dog.
forward the notion that we can make political statement
Martyr.
of Maugrim's fate.
Yes.
So, Boris, you have been trying to get a word in edgewise. Speak.
Well, Boris just think it horrendously unfair to sentence them to death, even if you think death be better option. Two of the things they are charged with are not even crime.
Sorry, Boris.
I agree, it's horrendous, but this is the choice we are faced with.
I would like to hear your opinion.
Boris not like binary choices.
Neither do I.
No, the political
Okay,
statement.
Please let
Valencio,
Valencio speak.
The political statement here is we represent kindred in Vardoran, and this obviously is not a fair trial now, is it? If we choose this as guilty, that means the kindred in Vardoran is just going to put anyone into the fire just because we wanted to. That means kindred in Vardoran are not fair. Is this the political statement that we want to make? That's what I'm wondering. And
Would that not be a correct thing then? They are not fair. It is a well-known thing.
Yes, us being fair would be the political statement.
Want to say or do you want to go?
Curiously enough, I believe the more politically subversive option is to declare. However, the more merciful option is to declare it guilty. What shall we go? Mercy or political subversion? Let's go around the circle. Grigorich, go.
Kill them.
Hi,
Mercy. Valenzo.
Oh, hello, Electra.
It's good to see you.
Imprisonment.
I thank you. I'm flattered.
Political subversion. Boris.
Political
Things have improved.
Val.
I'm not sure what the political subversion would do. We're playing into their hands regardless. Death.
Kill the dog. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh,
Fortitude,
Very
yet
well.
again.
I shall speak on behalf of the jury unless anyone else would desire it.
Yeah,
I've already
Gabriel
made
can
my
speak.
voice loud.
Feel free.
I know it is not satisfying, but justice rarely is. And it is better if we come back unanimous. Boris,
You really
Valenzo.
think this going to serve to unify kindred?
It won't.
Unanimous would
Never
suffice.
will.
I don't like this at all.
I believe that the
Has
purpose
to
of
be
this is to
better.
offer mercy to Maugrim.
Death is no mercy.
It is if you're going to be stuck in a planar prison forever.
If you're still alive, even in prison,
We're out of
there's
time.
Recess.
Shall I give a divided verdict or unanimous?
Unanimous.
Boris,
Unanimous.
this is the right thing.
Do what is
Very well.
best.
all of you are fools.
Yes, Boris, we are.
We are fools being forced to play a game none of us agree with.
Come, Gabriel.
Gabriel thinks he's quite smart, really.
Oh, Gregory, I have that money.
Ruthven, the door.
We'll speak later.
Okay. Court's starting.
So you see what the verdict is. Why does the prosecution have keys to the door?
Because it's his fucking castle.
The Maugrim is not the prosecution. He's the prosecuted. Come on, Boris.
Boris thought was gonna be an open door.
Lady Lucane, perhaps, if you're going to speak, then,
Yes, I think you should stay at the front.
You may remain standing if you'd like, but there's one final act that the prosecution and defense must commit. We would have a closing statement from them both, so they may have one last attempt to sway the jury.
Please be seated. There are seats in the front row.
You may begin, Donovan, when you like.
Thank you, Your Honor. It is, of course, by now, relatively common knowledge that Maugrim, while much beloved by the entire Vardoran, has their faults, as much any kindred does. I would like to think that a fair and even-handed judgment, as carried out by our jurors here, will see to it that justice is seen to and carried out appropriately.
I believe it is obvious to all that are present that this is not justice. The two options we have given are both actions that are, well, against a member of the community. And, well, it is a difficult decision, as one is something that Maugrim themselves has stated they do not wish for, and so is the other.
Has anyone in the jury been stirred by these remarks to change their vote?
I believe our decision is the same.
You may present your decision before the court.
My lord, on behalf of my fellow jurors, it is with a heavy heart that we must say the case cannot be proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Maugrim is innocent of the crimes levied. And so, at a decision of 4-2, the jury has ruled Maugrim guilty, and the sentence of execution shall be wrought.
May Gabriel say something before we proceed?
Gabriel, sit down.
Yes.
Right. So I know the honorable Judge Echo here says execution. Gabriel would like to propose that the kindred of Vardoran be involved in that. Let Maugrim run around like the dog he is, and then the kindred are in charge of making sure he dies. They die.
And if the kindred stay their hand?
That's for the honorable judge to decide.
Their hand. If the
You can
kindred
disobey an order.
unanimously decide to stay their hand,
You may sit down.
then we will take a vote from the people instead of the jury. And we will decide on exile or imprisonment, which you will have your chance to decide on the blood first. Maugrim. I believe you will have 3 ticks head start. Stay on the roads. First execution.
Is this execution to be handed out now?
I believe there is no better time. the kindred are to decide your fate. If you are to survive until the next morning, then perhaps we will see another vote for you here in the courtroom.
If they survive, they should be free.
Very well.
The sentence
We
is
have till
execution, isn't
nightfall.
it?
Till nightfall to leave, or nightfall to get the head start?
To get your head start.
Yes, you should get out of here.
Good luck, Maugrim.
Go,
Run!
Maugrim, run!
Peanut!
Run
Run!
and don't look back!
Running!
Bruce.
Boris?
I know,
Vardoran, do you have any blood on you?
I have warrior
blood. That'll do.
Do you wish to?
I have warrior and
yes.
rogue blood if anyone needs.
I was gonna say I will take rogue
I
blood.
just arrived.
Yeah, I have another
what's
one.
Maugrim guilty of?
Here you go.
Not doing her job.
She had a job.
At last, I can be rid of this blood.
Yes, he was warden of Farbane.
Oh.
So, a lack
Who's
of
the
duty
judge?
equals death. Have we all forgotten the impact death has on the world around us? Or are you all just that hungry for murder?
I'm just. I mean,
Trial had
they knew
no
what they were
point.
getting into once they made their
Boris,
bed.
now would
The
be a good
innocent
time to
verdict
make
was
your offer.
was not an option. It was either
If you
the
wanted to
jury votes to
execute
kill them,
Maugrim, you should
or
know
the jury
so
votes
soon.
to have them locked
I
in an
pray
evil
for the
dimension.
kindred to show mercy to her, please.
I realized traditional
Kill
Maugrim juries were done by vote.
Open the door.
Looks like everyone's excited.
Chris.
Cherry seems excited to
Definitely
be.
that's the cue to start.
Yeah, that was a cute
I
start.
couldn't
But
really
I
Come,
pray
that's
that you all
one
show
of my
mercy
factors that
if you
they
want to
can
harm.
Like your
Honorable
I
judge,
have my
please
own
give the
objection.
word.
The gong was
Gong
rung.
has rung.
Excellent.
The hunt is on.
The thing you always
Gong
say-
has rung. Your ears are dim.
I will not shed a single tear for any of those who are joining in the hunt to lose. It's that simple.
You're absolutely right when you say what you say all the time. Absolutely right.
Should I join in the hunt?
No, Alexander, I cannot sit around
If
letting
anything,
this
I want to try
Maugrim
and
die.
protect Maugrim myself. But I've worries searching from them
By
will
all
just draw people to them.
I
notice
noticed
how
you
one
had
of
a
the charges
particular
was
disdain
treason.
for them, so I
the only thing we ask.
figured I would offer assistance.
Without any question.
If one of the charges was treason, why didn't we get an explanation of how they were treasonous against whoever decided to put the charges down in the first place?
Yeah, we got
The way
basically
they
none of the
posted
valuable
merely said,
information.
Because it's
we
all
know no
secret.
information.
Because it didn't
Vardoran
matter
seems to
though.
extend my hand.
Why not?
Like
I mean,
treason
they're
from
being-
who put the charges down?
We're charged for the same crime twice, so does anything matter?
No, it doesn't make any sense. And considering that Donovan, according to the Waygate posting, was merely acting as prosecution, then these charges weren't placed down by Donovan, and the only individual that wasn't here associated with this grouping was, from what I understand, the Elder. Which means the Elder convicted them of treason, which means the judge was biased.
Yes.
There was no
Have it-
point in this trial to begin with.
Video
Exactly.
Already made up the
And-
decision.
before in your own lives.
And it was painfully obvious that it was a fake trial to begin with, since both the
Very
punished.
disappointed.
Won't be the first time.
Hello, Mary.
Pelt, I hope you understand why I voted the
I
way I
don't
did.
think you'll see a big
The only
picture.
thing I understand from you, Val, is that you are an absolute fool. And I, complete honestly, don't want to see your face ever again.
Imprisonment is that imprisonment would be
No,
a
I'm
fate
not-
worse
I'm
than
not-
death.
No, I'm not talking about that. maybe we should talk later on.
Yes, of course.
But I trusted you. I want you to know that.
I mean,
Not for
it's up to the kindred if they want to go ahead and just follow. They can just stay here.
That's true.
This must be the most excitement you've seen in your area of the neighborhood, Victor.
I was unaware the trial was going on. I saw a waygate about it was posted sometime before I awoke and presumed
You
it
may
had minutes and
participate if
hours
you-
and not weeks. But I suppose Vardoran goes on
Are
its
you
own
sure,
timescale.
Alexander? Can I go defend the poor wolf?
Well, it was an impromptu and very quickly announced trial, so take that as you will.
Oh,
you want to
I'm
defend
not
the
quite sure under what legal body they're
All
servicing
that you
as.
need to do is
The
house
elders.
ballot, and you can do
Who is the elder?
The person who
Don't
manages
need
the
Alex's
different
permission for
quote-unquote guardians around the
I'm not
realm.
going to stop you.
I thought Maugrim was the only one.
Nope. The head of the family, as one were to say.
They're related.
I won't do that.
I've
Not
seen
directly.
I've seen the red
status of the
energy
house
wolf
is
once,
still
and I've seen
in
Maugrim a few times.
That
I
Maugrim is an enemy.
They're
suppose
as
the judge
related
is
to
somebody.
Ruthven as
Well then,
Lara is to everyone
shall
else.
stand my hand.
Not any genetic family, but they're all working together. Suppose
It
it
seems
is.
a little bit ridiculous.
It was.
Why
It is.
didn't they
People
just...
do nothing.
At the moment, Maugrim's fate lies in the kindred of Vardoran, and then after that, it's going to go into an open vote, which made the whole decision for the jury and the sentencing pointless.
Not
That
pointless.
is a good point. Since when do juries operate via vote?
Fine. If anyone would like to have an actual discussion on the points of this court and what resulted of it, you may follow me. If you wish
That
to
was a
follow in
hasty.
ignorance and let the law lie over your heads, then go about your way.
Are there laws in Vardoran now?
No, there always are to a degree. Whichever house
Dominion.
holds the most power and sway.
Yes.
You did well, Lord von Bardoff.
I follow you, Vel. I'm just making sure you return home safe.
I did my best.
Fair enough. I was in the jury. I was in that room where we were discussing the punishment. Be what it will be, unfortunately. I will let the rest of the kindred of Vardoran do this hunt.
You were quite helpful upon the jury, so
I'm aware. But I could have taught you how to make an opening statement.
yes, they could have. Or just, you know.
Well, all we can hope for is that Maugrim survives.
Maugrim
Truthfully, the
survives to be
horseman-
put to a second vote.
Well, what is
better
the
than dead.
exile? Actually, good point.
It wasn't exile, it was imprisonment.
You
No,
you didn't know. You
here's the
didn't
thing,
know?
though. No, I knew.
You
Okay,
didn't?
Palinsu. Fucking listen to me for a moment, please. The first
Nope.
two were
Who's
death
listening to
or
you?
imprisonment.
Palinsu.
The second one that Echo just told us about for the hunt is imprisonment or exile. Don't know what that exile is.
Are there more than one types of exile?
Well, yes, but what kind of exile exactly? Where are they being
there other
exiled
types
to?
of exile? Exile is leave and don't come back. I don't know that there are other types.
So you actually completely disregarded that option, you see. In your head, I mean.
Can you be less cryptic, please?
When it comes to someone's death, I tend to be thinking a lot,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's their freedom to live in this world.
That imprisonment would
As
not
much
have been
as
freedom.
they would still live. This is their choice, not ours.
Did you not
That
watch
was-
Maugrim's eyes, their face, their form?
I also
when imprisonment was
I
brought
also
up.
heard him say to Dominion before the trial starts, "Please do good. I don't want to die."
Is eternal suffering better than death?
Honestly, no. I'm just gonna say it. No, it isn't.
not your decision to make.
The
I see
problem
why
is,
Maugrim wanted so desperately to get a replacement as warden.
I think the Elder is interested in getting Maugrim's replacement as warden.
Darian, there is no justice in this world. What delusion are you living under?
There is justice if everyone agrees to it.
We were gonna
Yes,
shit
that's the
head. I
problem.
chose mercy.
Everyone agrees to it. It's near impossible to get. You saw how many were willing to go off and just randomly kill someone because they were given the green light to finally take out their murder.
Yes, that's the whole point. If Maugrim dies now, it's on our hands, not at the Elder. We're going to just continue to blame each other, and this circle argument at our level continues.
Vel, you might want to tell Darian to not pick fight with Echo right now.
This Echo's someone that you shouldn't fight.
I just don't really think Echo cares about the trial at all. I'm gonna let Darian. I'm just gonna let Darian and Cruz question them into a hole.
I mean, the
Look,
rest of you
if-
should have just let Venator and the sentry unit simply tear off after them and handle the execution themselves. Why even waste your time with all this nonsense? After all, this should have been led to a military trial, given the particular terms and their station, which should have led to disbarment. As far as I'm aware, there's actually no evidence of treason, correct?
Nope.
There was none presented.
None
It was only a very loose
presented.
accusation at the
Keyword.
beginning.
None presented.
There wasn't a point in having a trial at all. The only reason why any of this has
Before you-
power is because the Elder wanted it to happen, and thus it
Before
happened.
you keep going, the only thing that should have been on the table at that point in time would have been disbarment from their position. At this point in time, you've basically just fallen into the agreement of, yes, let's go forth and kill things, or at least you will be pinned for it for the actions of others. But staying here and staying your hand certainly proves we have a witness who shows that certain individuals in this room are not going to just simply kill a member of the Elders' cadre, regardless. So, stay here, stop arguing amongst each other. Choice was already made long before you sat down.
Yes.
Or go home. One or the other.
I'm only of the opinion that if anything wishes to be called a court, this is not a country and there is no treason if I'm not being taxed. I'm not a citizen of Vardoran, and Vardoran's king has been in exile long before any of us arrived.
We could start setting up taxes.
How Francian of you to talk about taxes, Victor.
Look, this is the same as the trials they did to the Francian nobility.
Does Fergus know you're from Francia?
Why should he? Why shouldn't he? He can figure it out.
Where is Fergus?
I don't know. He just. Hey, child student, where's Fergus?
He has his name is Aiden, Mary.
Oh, Aiden. Where's Fergus?
Child student?
Yeah.
I haven't a bloody clue.
I
Well,
sense him flying over the iron mine.
Oh, okay. I don't know. My thought process is that, I mean, Fergus killed his students, so maybe he turned Aiden, so that would be his child, because that's how siren works, I think.
Probably.
Yeah, so child student.
Val, how long do you plan on staying here?
Until the trial concludes. Fully.
You mean the sentencing?
Yes. I hope Maugrim lives. That is all I'm going to say.
So be it.
I will state how the jury voted and why after the trial. I don't believe that's something that should be kept hidden. Unless anyone else in the jury that is still here disagrees. No? Okay.
Apparently, you're the only one aside from Palinsu who's still here from the jury.
Ah, yes, right. They went to go off to do that. Cool.
Well, Lucinda went off to go and I'm assuming
Talk
do
to Dominion about something, the reasoning for the sentencing.
I don't believe talking about the Elder Visions in the presence of a member of the Elders cohort is a good idea. Considering what
Fergus?
happened the last time Elector tried to, I'm not going to do it.
Hey, Fergus.
Boy.
You don't like Francians, right?
No, I don't like.
There's one right there.
Well, why don't you like Francians?
Why? Why would you do
They
that?
really fool themselves.
That sounds like someone who's full of themselves would say.
Wait, Flargus is racist?
Just against Francians.
You got a problem with my
Okay,
country?
so yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
make
would be
back
good
bread,
friends
but
with
shaped like a
Leofish
stick.
then.
I'm not a baker. What's your problem with me? Have you been there to have the bread? And have you been there to have not bread? Can you eat bread? Why do you
I've
care
been
about
there
bread?
eating their bread before.
You can't eat
It's just
bread.
dumb.
You're dead.
It looks like a stick. Oh, this was back when I was like a rape. We ate a bunch of their bread, and it was shaped like sticks, but they called it back bread.
What do you mean baguette?
Back bread?
Yeah, that's it. Baguette.
Ugh.
What the heck is going on?
Did we make it?
Well, look at everyone filing on in. Best not to be on the stairs or else
You
get
know
run
that
over.
most Francians are not, in fact, bakers.
No, sorry, Carnage.
Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't
not
realize that
saying
you
that
see it.
just because the baker's
That's
pages in
fine.
general. In fact, that's even a thing. And accept it.
Is there a reason it shouldn't be?
Eden, go sit down next to Fergus.
What the heck is going on in here?
Trying to kill
Idle
Maugrim.
conversation.
Trying to kill Maugrim?
No,
Why?
no. She's safe. Morning has come.
She's
That
safe
means
until the
that-
kindred whole decide their fate now.
I say
Yes,
anyone who
yes.
hasn't paid taxes
back.
doesn't have a vote. Therefore, there is no court.
I'm so confused. What did Maugrim do wrong?
Nothing
There was a
really.
trial about it that happened before I arrived.
Taxes.
Tax evasion,
Taxes?
supposedly.
Well, that's a loaded question, Percy, because Maugrim did, and then apparently it was bad. Or rather, Maugrim didn't do.
I'm so confused.
Hi, Percy.
Hi, Nell. Have you seen Maugrim?
Not yet. I heard the Gongi deal ring again, though, so I assume she survived till morning.
Good. Oh, hi, Vedla.
If I may approach the bench.
Really?
Please.
Thank you.
Boris, can you please put that away? Thank you.
Hi, Flo.
I know.
I was going to freeze them if need be.
I would have happily killed anyone if I needed to.
I wouldn't ask that of you, though.
Oh, I would take pleasure in it.
Why are my things getting broken? Just because I almost died does not mean you should break my things.
Maugrim? Maugrim!
Yes,
Maugrim!
I'm alive. We should probably get back in the courtroom, though.
What the heck is going on?
We succeeded.
Percy, quick rundown. Maugrim got summoned to court. She was guilty of not doing her job as warden,
What?
and they
What's
found her
that even
guilty of
mean?
it. And then she, because she was sentenced to death, and she survived.
You think I don't know how to survive my own game?
That would be quite
Sincerely,
silly.
fuck you all.
Yeah, I was going to
Okay.
say.
A fine cardio there, Maugrim.
You ran.
I did.
Pardon.
You ran like you
survive.
did when presented with your duties. But the kindred of Vardoran have spoken. We will let them speak once more. Since their blades could not catch you, the hammer of judgment will. In a moment upon the way gates, I will post something that you will all be able to see. Leave your mark upon it. You will have some time to do so and discuss amongst yourselves. And you have earned the right to have your voice heard. But this time there will be no mercy. If the decision comes to the blade, it will be done.
Very well.
You did a great job, buddy.
What's the difference between exile and imprisonment?
If they get imprisoned, then they're imprisoned. They don't get to leave. They're exiled. They're, I assume, exiled from Vardoran.
But where do they go? Where are they
Likely
exiled
a
to?
location of their choice.
Exile is just not here.
Fair enough.
Literally anywhere but here.
Okay, sometimes exile has a specific location, so try and clarify.
If someone told you exile had a specific location, they were trying to trick you, or they were lying.
If it's a specific location, then I consider that imprisonment.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah,
It
that makes
has a
sense.
precedence. Exile being
what
sent
if-
to foreign countries.
What if you don't think,
judgment.
what if you don't think anything?
Exile means just not here. It could be also specific where. Perhaps another land.
How many political activists have been exiled from their own country to cause trouble in another's?
What if you don't think Malcolm did
Really, we
something
should
wrong?
just cut their heads off.
No.
What if the punishment doesn't seem right?
The first two punishments weren't right. We have the option of making a correct choice.
But what about no punishment
Hasn't even
at
done
all?
anything wrong.
We don't have an option.
Have a
for that.
choice to not
Excuse me.
play.
Excuse me, Bart.
That's ridiculous.
If you are opposed
matter what
to the
we
trial,
say,
don't vote and waste it, I guess.
The judge
There
and the
seems to be-
higher being seeks a punishment, so we get to pick a lesser of three evils.
We should pick
I'm
none.
picking exile. I don't care what the rest of you think. I'm picking that one.
Electra, when you add your voice to it, it makes the others go away from it.
Whatever you say, man.
And I'll speak to it.
You
No
too,
one,
ladies.
let's even question.
One
no
shall
one
proudly
questions.
sign my name upon my mark.
You know
No
what?
one
I would
has even
encourage the
questioned the
people to
people who
vote for a
lived up
fourth
before us.
option if they feel so strongly about it.
Buddy, someone's trying to
That's
question
not
it
how
right
voting for
now, but they
options
need.
Probably not a good idea to split
Maugrim, I don't want you to go anywhere.
It is safer that I'm exiled than imprisoned.
This is for the best
Killed.
person.
Agreed.
Sorry, Maugrim.
But that is my personal opinion. I can't
May
stop.
you live your best Maugrim life in exile then.
What would you rather happen to you most?
I would rather not be imprisoned, and I would certainly like to live.
That makes sense.
It's okay, Percy. Once we go
If
back
you're
to the
exiled, can you come visit?
Like
well,
to
no,
not
they're exiled.
Vardoran if I'm exiled.
Well, can people visit you instead?
Potentially.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
You better not.
Are.
Letters could still reach me, but me responding to them is questionable.
Well, technically, if you're exiled, and as long as you are not physically present in land, it's not
Percy.
technically breaking exile.
What?
When we join your mother again, we'll go visit
Technically, you still have a boon.
Maugrim.
Okay.
Maugrim.
Okay.
If Echo and the Sort do over here, if Echo and the Sort do not provide a boat, Talos will. To wherever you choose.
Very well. Provided I'm actually exiled. Seems many people are rather adamant on killing me.
We'll kill them first.
Yeah,
they'll have to
Oh,
get
your
through
most
You're getting
honorable
executed
judge,
over my cold,
your
dead
life
body.
was just threatened from the stands.
Threatening you.
I would like to not have the judge threatened. I'd probably pay that consequence. I'd like to not.
Yes, please don't threaten the judge so I don't have to hurt you. That'd be great.
Who was threatening the judge?
That reminds
That one wolf next to the fishman.
Hey, no. Oh no. That's not happening.
No,
That's not happening at all.
it was me.
Hey, leave
This one
Percy
right
alone.
here?
And it was me.
Percy has done nothing.
No, what's
Percy's not a wolf.
There are many wolves in Varbane. Are you sure it is that one?
I'll start running.
Yes, it's this one right
hello,
here.
John? When did
No.
you get here?
I did nothing.
And now they're no longer a wolf, but a very ugly individual.
That is rude.
Yeah,
How dare you say that about my girlfriend? Fuck you.
Pick a better one.
Buddy. I think I know
Sound
you're
like
making
talk,
a
dude.
stand here, but I'd rather you not die. Please leave.
Alright.
Someone who lives with Gabriel, he's often full of shit.
I'll see it through on my knees.
You won't have to
On
do
the
that,
contrary, guys, do not process waste.
What if you were paid to?
Sentry.
Lots of difference.
I didn't threaten the judge. I threatened the people who were hunting her. That is all.
Noted.
No,
people
you
in the
quite
hunting
literally said that
idiot.
you shall kill whoever is killing Maugrim first. In this case, to be the judge, as it's by their order.
The judge isn't the one with the sword. The judge didn't hunt them.
Indeed.
Can I make my opinion known on something?
You know.
I mean, no one's exactly going to stop you. I don't think.
What's stopping them from sending one of us to this
Nothing.
To do the deed? Technically
Yeah.
nothing, but, you know, I would figure the court would abide by their own decision.
Well, he said that any bounties would be out of their hands. If someone else put a bounty, then technically.
It's out of their hands.
You know
Not
the
to
fun
mention
thing
they
about
don't.
all of this?
Hmm?
The very entertaining thing about this is that those currently presiding over this trial, those defending it, those running it, should pay very close attention to what decision is made, regardless. Because your elder may very well find the same reason to put you in this place.
That does raise a question. Maugrim, why did you bother coming to the trial? Break free immediately. This is their
I
home.
am a person of my word.
Yeah.
And if I am called to put forth a trial, even though I am the one being accused, I need to attend.
I am going to add to what Maugrim said. The elder and his have a monopoly on violence. Slaughter their way to anyone who stop Maugrim themselves if they do try to escape.
You speak very highly of people I've never heard of.
Maugrim.
But yes, I agree with Alexander to be very mindful.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to keep working on becoming a warden if you're not here?
There will be a warden to take
Simple.
my place.
We replace them.
I'm asking Maugrim.
Silence, dog.
Don't talk to Percy.
Hey, don't talk to Percy that way.
Or
Stop.
what,
Maugrim.
fishman?
Whom is
Or
picking
find
your
out-
replacement?
I am about to explain that, but people keep
I'm
interrupting
not
me.
going to attack you in this courtroom. That's done.
The warden prospects were chosen for a reason. They are amongst the replacements.
Well, that means you could be warden, Victor.
I'm not sure I want the privilege of being put on court for no reason.
No, you would not be a warden with these ones. The warden is its own stance, own belief. It is up to you how you decide to take that title.
Well, I'm gonna become a warden someday. Eventually.
If it is his own stance and its own belief, why do you have to respect the authority of this court that put you through sham trial?
Because like I said, I'm a kindred of my word.
And if your word subjects you to death?
Then so be it.
Victor, I think you are actually the only warden prospect that actually lives in Farbane.
Percy? I live
I'm
here.
not technically a
I'm sorry to say,
warden
Buddy does.
prospect. I'm more of a warden prospect.
I'd vote for you, Percy.
You're an aspiring warden, Percy.
I'd vote for Percy.
Damn.
I do believe
I
Victor
vote
has you
for
beat.
Buddy or
Fish.
Percy. Both of them are nice people. Though I suppose if I had to choose between the two, I would probably end up picking Buddy.
Buddy's pretty great.
Nice.
I'd vote for Buddy.
Mostly just by, seniority and experience.
Darian, stop bothering the bailiff.
Remember,
We'll
you
make
had
an-
a meeting.
Five ticks until your decision is final.
If the two of you would be returning to your seats now, we are approaching the time.
Fuck you for
I would like to make a little bit of
was not
clarity
my
as I have confirmed with Echo for those who have voted. Execution means death. Imprisonment means to be locked in a location never to leave again. And exile means they may roam anywhere in the world other than Vardoran.
Which I believe was not an option before our little hunt.
Yes, it was an option that we made ourselves.
It technically was an option because it wasn't stated exactly It's going to be an imprisonment or an exile by Echo.
Yes, and you're telling me that the honorable judge would not choose imprisonment?
You
You're
made your
saying
choice,
that-
sir.
I'm saying that you are
Settle
not
with
certain.
him. I know I've made mine.
I proudly signed my vote on that Waygate. Exile.
I have a question. Are votes public for all to see?
I believe they're on the Waygate, so yes.
Good.
But in terms of who voted for what, I doubt you would know their names unless they signed them.
I proudly signed my name, as I stand by my choices, because the Gabriel is nothing but trustworthy.
Can someone
That
shut that
bitch
guy
is
up?
guilty. Execution.
Excellently said, Bagman.
Exile.
Oh, by the way, Percy, Vinny's here.
I've already signed later, by the way.
Gregorich, you have too much fun sometimes.
I
You better sign your names in a public poll.
I don't think Gregorich has enough fun, Victor.
Oh no, he clearly doesn't.
I don't know how an execution of someone is fun, but that's your choice and prerogative.
All right.
You'd be surprised.
Since Mary will bounce a no king other than her father, then we'll make Mary's father the king of Vardoran and have nobility come here.
No.
Like a civilized
no,
life.
no. Shut up.
I'm okay with that.
No.
Terrible idea.
Terrible. He's the Fae.
He's the
Maugrim.
I remember when Dashko was going to be the.
Did you? Did the horseman?
You know what? At this point, I would rather have God King Dashgul.
Oh no.
At this point.
My dad
Oh,
doesn't
no.
want to be king. Leave him out of here.
Your dad
They're very
is
bad
Uncle
at shutting
Dashko?
up.
Stop saying dad's
All
name.
I'm
You're gonna
saying
make
is
Tina
that
have a
mortals are
moment.
historically very
No, your
effective
dad is
at
Uncle
running
Dashko.
nation states, and it frees
Yeah,
you
we've
up to do
talked
other
about this first.
tasks.
Oh, why don't we all vote for a king?
Because then it's not a king, we need someone with a divine mandate.
Has that.
My mandates are just as bullshit as this trial.
Then an
Considering
infernal
we're all
mandate.
kindred, getting a divine mandate would be impossible. We're all dead.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Divine
I was going
mandate
to
is
say.
impossible. Anyways, execution, violence, death.
Let's just let Dracula out of the Shadow Realm and let him do it.
Fuck no.
He is the rightful king of these lands.
He would be more fun to face in the world.
I am
would he
know.
not?
Oh, actually, sorry, I got.
punch someone.
I feel like
You
you
do
can
know
go
that
in
3 seconds.
from his own. You do know that from his own mistakes, Dracula is actually unable to leave the Shadow Realm entirely. There is no way to free.
Good. He smells bad.
Not with that attitude.
Damn.
Oh, with that attitude,
Oh, no.
yeah, I agree.
No, without
No, there actually is no way to free him, and he probably wouldn't want to leave, nor is he sane enough to leave.
He's perfectly sane. He sits in a chair.
I don't know.
That is
Sometimes I
true.
go in there.
That's what it takes to clarify if you're sane. Just you can
It's
sit
a
in chair.
very nice chair.
It's a stupid
is a very
chair. It doesn't protect you from the sun, and you can't even order servants around with.
You know, I've had a realization.
That is not.
If
the
sitting
man
in
I
a chair
surveyed
is what
100 years ago.
qualifies you to be sane, doesn't half of this room prove otherwise?
Silence in the court.
The decision has been made. The people of Vardoran have decided. The result is exile.
Okay.
Start running.
Well, we're done.
All right.
Running?
I will
Wait.
Oh?
Calm yourselves.
I have something I must do before they can depart.
Oh?
The ritual will require the morning light. So I will permit you until dawn to say goodbyes.
I gotta tend to some spirits, but I'll be back in a couple of turns. Bye, Bella. I love you.
Be careful. I don't
Hi, Gabriel.
Super violent.
Well, my part in this is complete. I'll be on my way.
Don't forget your Shade Star Spite advertisement.
I give 1 star.
I think Maugrim actually needs to get out.
No.
No, I cannot believe Echo needs to do something before I go.
Oh, okay. I wanted to make sure they were blocking. But
No, everyone wants to say their goodbyes, and it's quite a good goodbye indeed.
Maugrim, I have a half dozen places you can retreat to. Just ask.
Should probably get him out of here.
There'll always
you
be
ever-
more forests. Always be more places to run free.
Find
You need a religion, Maugrim.
I do not need a religion in the world.
A religion to divinely ordain a king with.
Soren, have you departed yet?
No. Why?
Head to the Telos estate and fetch me a calling stone, please. I'll need it to reach the fleet.
Calling stone?
Yes, it's a round stone. It's in my quarters. There's a box of, I think, 6 of them.
Alright, alright.
Just need it to be able to call the fleet to get a vessel, Maugrim.
Maybe I haven't passed the trials or anything like that, but no matter what, I promise to be a warden in my own right. In your honor.
Kindly, can we have this conversation not in the only doorway?
Agreed.
What do you mean? None
but
of
I
them
like this
can't
doorway.
jump out. Use your legs.
I'm not going to debase myself with such things.
Maugrim.
Rightful Donovan.
You did debase yourself with the sham of a trial.
I think you
Oh,
might
come
have
on,
to.
don't be rude. Let the man out.
Oh, fine. Sentry unit.
Thank you. Trial, I merely fulfilled the role. My own personal feelings were irrelevant.
Who are you anyway?
What the fucking cop out?
Let's talk outside.
I'm sorry.
No, he's right.
The lawyer's just the messenger. The person who hired the lawyer is who you should point your ire to.
Forrest, I love you.
You're
Donovan
never
is insufferable
free-
at times, but he is merely enacting the charges and was doing the prosecution on the behalf of another. Still, it's a brick. I say that really.
They should be sufficiently
Don't worry,
far from
they
the
will.
others. Wouldn't
Seems
want
so.
Well, it seems that this matter is resolved. I'm going to retire for now.
Seems like a fine place.
The garden's changed since I was last here.
Oh?
Maugrim, is it okay if I write you about my progress?
Maybe in a different part.
You may always write to me, no matter what
Who
the
are you, sir?
environment is, no matter what the moon phase.
I am Donovan
falls upon,
Shadestar.
your letters
Shadestar
will reach me.
Supplies.
I
I
may not be
own
able
the
to
market in
respond,
Silverlight.
but I will read them.
Oh, the crystal market.
Thanks,
I've been there.
You know, Maugrim,
Wasn't aware
if
anyone
you ever
ran it
want a
aside
pair
from an
of gills,
intern.
you could go live in the ocean. My wife can
I
do that
have
for
a
you.
few hands helping me
No
keep things
disrespect,
orderly.
but I would rather
The
chew off
razors
my
lit
own
and the
limb.
stocks filled.
Understandable. But you know, it's a place in nature.
You're a
that's all I'm
merchant
saying.
acting as a
It's okay. The doggy paddle is
Attorney.
kind of tiring anyhow.
prosecutor.
We
had a abomination of
Yeah.
steel as
Maugrim,
the
I'd like to
bailiff. We do what we
push
can.
you.
have my opinion on during the hunt.
A piece part to be played.
It does not prevent people from
So,
saying
are
their
there
opinions.
even laws
What's
to this
preventing
land?
you?
Nothing at all.
Certainly
during the midst of the hunt, I intend to kill you.
social
I'll have you notice.
hierarchy to be upheld.
What the heck?
But then I decided, oh wait, I could just kill everyone chasing Maugrim.
So there
Would be
isn't a
far more fun.
court precedent.
Yes, no,
for
I'm
this
going to
matter
hunt you
then.
down one day. We're gonna have a fight.
Not
What the
as
heck?
such.
Hey,
I'm not intending to
Maugrim
kill
was
her.
found to be lacking, and we couldn't just let that stagnate.
I'm not gonna kill her during her exile.
Hmm.
They gave their decree.
Was it a
No, we're gonna have a
decision
fight.
from a single
You're not
individual
long.
or
Mosquito
from each
suits.
of you as a
I
group?
think it's more the sense of like
What did I do to you?
she
John?
wants a test of strength less than
The
actually.
decision certainly came from up top.
That
Well,
makes
if I
it,
wanted to kill Maugrim, I would bring an army.
People are saying it's
I-
someone
and
called
well,
the
yeah,
Elder.
you
I don't
probably
think I've
need
ever
one.
met anyone
So
who calls
I
himself the Elder. I've
So
met
are you
elders.
saying this is a
They're
fun? You want
many
to
very
you want
old
to have a
kindred
fight, like
from
in a
these
fun
lands.
way?
like a spar, but more aggressive.
He doesn't make many
Yes.
public appearances.
Very aggressive.
Okay.
He tends to
If it ends in a throw
No
fight,
holds barred sparring.
work where
There we
he's
go.
needed.
yes.
God, you are terrible with words, Soren. I want to throw a rock at you.
Each of us had a part to play
You're all-
to help
you're
keep
more
the
than welcome to.
overall goal in mind and flowing freely.
So I'm afraid you'll not be given an
Myself, I
accurate
functioned
measurement.
as
It
the
depends
merchant
on what we're
lord,
talking about and how
and
we're
I
being
keep
measured.
everything supplied.
Oh, just a duel.
Make sure
Just a
everyone
duel of
is
weapons.
I think I was
appropriate,
interested, Darian.
as it were.
Oh, Echo. Sebastian showed up and you kind of cut yourself off. You were staring at him.
Make sure that they have the supplies that they need, the materials for their forges,
mainly because there are too many
leather
here, and
for their
frankly, I did not want to push
combs,
my
their
luck.
armor, the steel
That's probably
for
the
their
smart
swords.
thing to do,
Yeah,
Maugrim.
that's agreed.
I've pushed my
Kindred
luck
should be
plenty of
held to a
times.
certain
It doesn't always work out.
degree. If we are not at our best, what are we?
I'm aware
Ma-
that you do this, Electra.
I must
Malcolm,
apologize for listening.
what's gonna happen?
You're supposed
about
to
your whole
catch you up
empire?
to speed on my question.
Yeah, that's what I was
Take
wondering.
care of it?
Like, is it just going to be given to the others?
I do not know. I think you'll probably crumble to the ground if I'm not.
Sorry,
going
your
to do it.
question?
That's really
Is
sad.
everything for sale?
Can I have all your stuff?
I
Shut
saw
up!
everything under the night sky,
But
yes.
it's
Mom.
worth
I mean,
asking.
they're not
Well,
using
since
her.
we have established it,
Mom.
Shut up, Soren.
the house attorneys
You're not helping.
I asked.
the estate.
If it crumbles, can I take a brick to remember?
The land itself?
How about
The
this? The
land
next
itself.
warden will be given this castle.
No, Rena
I'd
here.
certainly be open to discussion, but I am
Oh.
quite
Okay, that
attached
makes
to my
sense.
home.
So long as there is means
And as
by
such,
which
there is
we
only
can
one warden
negotiate.
prospect actually worthy of holding this place as their own, and that is Buddy, because
Certainly.
they're the only one that has
Send
an
me a
option.
baton
So you could
and
finish
we'll
answering
arrange
my
for a
question.
meeting.
Congratulations, buddy.
Very good.
Congratulations.
I will not trouble you any further.
Wow.
Enjoy your morning.
It raises the question of why you desire these crystals so.
I always knew you were meant for greatness, buddy.
The
But
crystals
others who wish
are
to
something
continue on
of
the
a
path of the
courtesy extended
wardens,
to the
I will
kindred.
bestow my knowledge to Leofric.
Now, I'm a firm believer in
Buddy,
coinage. It
respectively.
is
May they choose what
something
they do
I've
with
worked
it.
very hard to cultivate amongst the
This
human
path is not theirs
populations.
to walk.
But the crystal, it
May
is
they walk
something
it
a little
well.
bit more pure, not as
Buddy will
nearly
do the
as
best job ever.
unpleasant as those Stygian shards the Mortiums use.
Forest will be safe.
And after all, with
Maugrim, is there
crystal, you
is
never
there
have to worry
is there an
about
arena here?
suddenly combusting.
Nope.
That's
There's
true.
an arena.
It's rather
There's an
well,
arena south of
distasteful
here.
to be dealing
The
in
Sanguine
such
Covenant has one.
volumes where
Normally, the ballroom could be converted into an arena,
trading
but
in
since it's
poison
currently a
is
courtroom,
sometimes seen as
it's not
There's a-
exactly usable for that purpose right now.
rude.
There's a bunch of empty plots of land.
I
next
can appreciate
nearby.
the irony to it.
Yeah, I was going to say there you have the street if you're really desperate.
You want to
After all, we are a cursed people.
Yeah, go fight
Ruthven,
Century.
not you.
Yeah, Soren,
Yes, it
go
was
fist
much
fight.
simpler
Go fist
before
fight,
those
you
merchants
little-
and
Well,
Anyhow,
it's been good talking to you. My name is Victor.
hold on.
Donovan.
What happened?
I will move the Miss Brazier and we will prepare the ritual circle.
Prosecutor, given the outcome.
Or not.
Circle, everyone, circle.
Who did that?
You will have to make do. In the center, Maugrim.
You'll have to give me a moment for the celestial alignment to shift.
You were judged guilty. Regardless of how the sentence is carried out, you did fail to uphold your duty. And because of that, you will be stripped of the powers that have been bestowed to you by your station. Your hand.
Let's see this done and taken care of.
What?
Maugrim, are you okay?
Now you are nothing once more.
I think there.
Don't listen to him.
Maugrim, can you get up?
They are the nothing.
Oh, there you are.
I can. I hope you're satisfied with the conclusion of this.
We just want you to survive, Maugrim.
Certainly better than death.
I am not satisfied. I will find you.
No.
That's blunt.
Oh, there's that.
I think the
No,
Kindred
I
made their
wouldn't-
choice, Unit.
You can't run forever.
The voice of people has spoken that Maugrim lives.
There'll be a lot.
No power here, Unit. Go away.
I will abide by that.
Technically, they do hold all the power. I've been released from this. I can't do anything even if I wanted to.
Be free, Maugrim.
I wonder
guess
if the
they-
judge
if-
will.
Already here, I'm pretty sure we can take them.
Oh, half of us will die to each other if we try to do anything.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's just gonna be a mosh pit.
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Did
Mosh
someone
pit
say
could be.
mosh pit?
It is the
Quite
Red
mosh
Metal
pit.
Bastion.
I am impervious to all harm, but I do not want to deal with a mosh pit.
That's fair.
You can't run forever, Unit.
Actually, they can.
They will
I was
mosh
going
one
to
day.
say,
They will have to mosh one day.
They will have to.
Quite honestly, oil does go dry over time.
You
I will
have
do
until
slay
the end
them
of this
piece by
cycle,
piece if
and
they
then
find
I will
anything.
make sure that you are out of Vardoran.
Rest assured, I'm leaving.
Bye, Maugrim.
Take care.
Every time a new kindred washes in from the
Yeah,
He is trying to find a way out of the sun.
I'm gonna get
every
back to
time
that
the new
duel.
kindred washes in from the crypts, Unit will be there to say, "Are you Maugrim? Are you sure you're not Maugrim?"
Oh, about that duel. Oh boy.
okay, that idea does sound
In regards to that
entertaining.
duel, Ruthven, would you be fine heading to the Sanguine Covenant building down
I
south?
believe
The book.
The arena or
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the book.
If you are willing to lead the way, I shall follow.
Alright then.
Did you say something, Balensu?
The way.
Oh, I just
I still got the bloody shock about